In this video, we're going to talk about irresponsible police shootings done in the name of justice.
Outside with his wife Autumn and their 3-year-old son, the family's dog started barking.
Hey!
Hill lost his balance and fired 2 shots.
Get your dog!
One grazed the dog, the other fatally hit Steele.
You shoot her? Did I? Oh my God. Oh my God.
That boy lives with that every day of his life. That shouldn't be his story.
It's also a story few people hear about when it comes to certain police shootings. An Associated Press investigation identified more than 1,400 unintentional discharges of firearms by more than 250 local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies since 2012. The AP found more than 20 cases where people died in those accidental shootings.
Unintentional discharges are actually quite rare, but they're much more common than we would like.
No one tracks negligent shootings by law enforcement, so the AP reviewed media reports, obtained body camera footage, and surveyed agencies across the country. The findings are an undercount since not all agencies were contacted. After a high-speed chase in Minnesota, a sergeant stepped out of his patrol car with his firearm drawn.
Get your hands right, Steele! Hands where I can see him. Hands where I can see him.
Oh, you actually shot me, didn't you?
I'm not going to say anything right now.
Oh, please don't say.
But you know.
Yeah, I know.
It was not intentional. I can tell you that.
The AP identified another 134 cases where the officer was injured from the discharge and 45 cases where an accidental shooting injured another officer.
Where you shot? Hey, relax.
That's what happened at a Texas high school when heavily armed officers and agents responded to a shooting. A U.S. Marshal accidentally shot a Homeland Security officer in the leg during the search for the shooter. Experts say the current methods used to train officers are inadequate. Doug Tangen says once cadets leave the academy, they rarely receive ongoing training.
These are all complex psychomotor skills. And if you know anything about psychomotor skills and motor learning, they take maintenance, or they just go away.
And I think I hit her, Sergeant. I don't know where.
The officer in Steele's death was never charged, but the family reached a $2 million settlement with the city in 2018. As for the little boy who witnessed his mom's shooting,
He says he wants to be a cop when he grows up, because he wants to get rid of the bad ones, which I can understand. You know, he's had pretty bad experience with police officers.
an experience Steele hopes will bring changes to police training. Krista Fourier, Associated Press, Burlington, Iowa.
Breonna Taylor. And all news since our 6 o'clock news tonight. For the first time, the mother of Breonna Taylor, the young Louisville EMT shot and killed by Metro Police, is talking about how she learned about the police raid into her daughter's home. Tamika Palmer says in this interview that she actually got a call from Breonna's boyfriend, Kenny, seconds after the fatal shooting.
I could hear Kenny just like screaming and crying, and I could hear all this noise, but I'm not knowing what this noise was. Like I didn't, and I'm like, what is going on, Kenny? And he's like, I think Breonna is, he said, somebody was trying to break in here, and I think they shot Breonna.
This interview, conducted with Palmer in Louisville by news organization TMX and given to WHS 11 News Tonight. The 26-year-old Taylor was shot and killed on March 13th at her South Louisville home, where her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, was also living. After the shooting, LMPD investigators said officers were serving a warrant in a narcotics investigation. But in a new lawsuit,
in this particular situation, a judge issued a no-knock search warrant. Now, you know, the police had to know that there was a gun owner, a registered gun owner in the home, and they came in guns blazing, knowing that the person would protect himself.
Like ever. Like, how can you say there's drugs in this house? I live there firsthand. I know this. I live here. We're here 24/7. No, there's no drugs in here.
When you go in and you look at this house, they were shooting from outside the house like this was the Wild Wild West. Bullets went through Breonna's apartment into the neighboring apartment.
The lawsuit also says a 5-year-old was sleeping in that next-door apartment. One of the officers, John Mattingly, was shot in the leg during the incident. The boyfriend, Kenneth Walker,
When he owned his gun legally. This is just the dirty stuff they do with the law.
Themselves that early morning. And Walker shot at the officers in self-defense and is a registered gun owner. In a statement tonight, an LMPD spokesperson says this is an ongoing Public Integrity Unit investigation and it wouldn't be appropriate to comment beyond their initial statements.
Hey everybody, I just was thinking about something and I really have to say this. Everybody knows about the Sean Bell shooting, and it's something that I followed from the beginning because I thought it was interesting to just research it and find out exactly what was happening behind it all. And I have to say I'm deeply disappointed by the verdict. I'm a kid and I'm disappointed. I mean, I don't have a big opinion in this all, but the guy was unarmed. The police officer shot 56 bullets or something at him. That sounds like manslaughter to me. Like, how do you just shoot 56 bullets at the guy without stopping, without thinking of what the repercussions are? I mean, this entire thing was just based on idiotic values and retardedness. So I just had to say this because I know people all over the New York area are in pain by what's happening, and they're probably thinking that these officers are gloating now, thinking that they can do whatever the heck they want, and they can't. They have to get that through their heads. They're police officers. They're not supposed to kill people. They're supposed to save people. So yeah, I just had to say that. Thanks.
Here is another registered gun owner in Texas, Tatiana Jefferson, where policemen came up to her window without knocking, knew that she was a registered gun owner, and just killed her.
This is the ventral cavity. The ventral cavity includes all of the front cavities, which would be the thoracic cavity, the abdominal pelvic cavity, the abdominal cavity, and the pelvic cavity. This is the abdominal cavity here, which includes the area just under the diaphragm. This area it's the abdominal and pelvic cavity. This is the pelvic cavity here. This here is the spinal cavity. So it has those cavities there. This is the spinal cavity, and this is the dorsal cavity. The dorsal cavity includes the cranial cavity and the spinal cavity. And this is going to demonstrate the 9 regions. Okay. Straight enough. Okay. All right. All right. So this is the hypochondriac region here. This is the epigastric region. This is the right hypochondriac. Sorry, this is the epigastric region. The hypogastric region, and this is the left iliac region. Again, I was Tatiana Jefferson doing Lab 5 for AMP1. Thank you.
Put your hands up. Show me your hands.
Fort Worth Police Operator M873, what's the address? I'm calling about my neighbor.
What's going on there?
Well, the front doors have been open since 10 o'clock, and I haven't seen anybody moving around. It's not normal for them to have both of the doors open this time of night.
Okay. You know if anyone is inside?
No, I'm not sure. Both of the cars are there.
Okay, bear with me. And they're in the driveway?
Both the cars in the driveway, yes.
Are they usually home at this time?
They're usually home, but they never had both of the front doors open with the lights on, like I can see straight through the house. When my sister woke me up, she stays across the street, and then I live on the opposite side of my sister.
Well, have an officer come by. They're already being dispatched now, okay?
Okay, appreciate it. I mean, it's just not normal for them to have both the doors open this late for that long.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much.